A city fully possessed. In minutes, people slaughtering each other, a demon eating souls, and the one man chosen to fix it, trapped between heaven and hell. The gate opened by accident. Closing it will cost everything. In the middle of the night, a wounded man named Mech runs through the city, desperately trying to escape the police. He collapses in an alley, laughing bitterly at the thought that he will not survive. At that moment, his spilled blood begins to float upward, and a mysterious hooded figure emerges, offering to keep him alive in exchange for his allegiance. Mech has no choice but to accept. The stranger seals the pact using a dark power, causing Mech's body to glow and writhe in agony. When the police finally reach the alley, they find nothing but a smear of blood on the wall. Across the city, chaos erupts. People are dying at the hands of monsters, while the hooded stranger watches calmly, and a man named Jake screams as enormous flames consume everything around him. This, it turns out, is a vision experienced by a monk named Chan. He gathers his belongings immediately and warns his master. His father, the necromancer Witching, has returned to Earth. He must leave to stop him. Meanwhile, Jake and his family arrive in Bangkok for a vacation. Jake cannot stop taking work calls, and his wife Prang scolds him, reminding him to be present for his family. He promises to do better, reflecting on his old days as a street cop. When they turn around, their daughter Lu has disappeared. The couple frantically searches the city until they find her on a bridge, chatting calmly with Chan. They thank Chan for looking after her until Chan surprises them by already knowing Jake's name. He tells Jake that their meeting was destined, that Jake was born in death under a blood moon and is the keeper of the gates. He warns that Jake will face great challenges and lose everything. Jake dismisses him as a madman and walks away with his family. Later, while shopping at a mall, Lu gets ice cream on her shirt and Prang takes her to the bathroom to clean up. At that moment, Mech enters the mall, calmly hands a lollipop to a stranger, then draws a gun and opens fire. Shoppers and employees are killed at random as panic erupts. Jake pushes through the fleeing crowd to reach his family and tells them to stay hidden in the bathroom while he tries to help. An officer named Arid also makes his way through the mall. Jake carefully moves through the building, guiding people to safety. When Mech pauses to use a blood-stained doll as a ventriloquist prop, mocking Jake in a childlike voice and revealing he knows about Lu and the ice cream, Jake steps out with his gun drawn. Mech opens fire and Jake dives for cover. A crying girl nearby tries to call for help. Mech shoots her down. Jake baits Mech into talking through the doll again.
Come out and play with me, American.
And uses the distraction to fire. Mech drops to his knees. Arid appears behind him, but Mech is completely calm. He thanks Jake for killing him, calls him the Keeper, and says the ritual is now complete. His body ignites and explodes. The entire building shakes. Above the mall, smoke forms a roaring skull, and flames tear across the city in every direction. Prang grabs Lu and they rush outside, only to find a bus crashing and people attacking each other everywhere. Even a fireman is stabbing someone. They retreat back into the mall and navigate past a man repeatedly smashing another's head against a counter. A body slumped at the front desk. They ride the escalator upward, but more deranged men close in. Prang sends Lu sliding down the outer rail to safety and fights the attackers one by one using the mannequin arm.
Trust me, okay?
They find a back door and escape outside, only to find violence, fires, and wrecked vehicles at every turn. After exhausting detours, they hide inside a grocery store. The phone is dead. A monstrous man enters and begins searching the aisles. Lu stays on the move to avoid him. When a body thuds against the window outside and Lu gasps, the stranger finds her, but Prang strikes him from behind and knocks him out. Back in the mall, Jake and Arid wake up with no memory of surviving the blast. There are no bodies anywhere. Jake spots a figure nearby that vanishes the moment he blinks. Arid finds bloodstains that appear decades old. Investigating a noise, they find a woman holding a knife. She turns to reveal a monstrous face and launches herself at Arid, stabbing him to death. Jake opens fire, but the bullets have no effect. The creature attacks him next. After a brutal struggle, Jake manages to knock her out with a blow to the head. He runs and hides, but she recovers quickly, her limbs elongating as she crawls across the ceiling after him. She eventually drags him out of cover and disarms him, but Jake fights back, shoves her off, and flees. He wraps electrical cables around her and ties her to a structure, then leaves while she struggles. He searches the mall for his family, but finds only rotten food and empty corridors. Prang and Lou leave the grocery store and reach a bus station where violence continues all around them. They crawl under a bus to avoid a man blocking their path. Lou spots a vehicle with calm passengers inside waving them over. They make their break and board the bus, but the driver dropped his keys outside and no one dares retrieve them. Prang runs out, grabs the keys, and is immediately seized by two attackers. Lou reaches for her mother, but cannot hold on. A passenger finally steps off the bus and fights the men, freeing Prang. She runs back and hands the driver the keys. The bus pulls away while they watch the brave passenger get torn apart by the mob. The road ahead is blocked by abandoned cars. Prang and Lou continue on foot to the hotel, where they find more bodies. In a corridor upstairs, a man attacks them. Prang uses a baggage trolley as a battering ram and drives the attackers back. She knocks another man out with a bottle, and at last they reach the safety of their room. Looking out the window, they see the entire city burning. In the mall, Jake follows the monstrous woman through a portal of blood on the wall and emerges at what appears to be an empty bus station. Looking up, he finds a colossal demon perched atop the building. It comes for him, crushing buses beneath its feet and tearing apart buildings as it chases him through the streets.
What the hell?
Jake ducks into an alley and finds himself trapped. A door opens and Chan pulls him inside his temple. Chan explains that they are in the Hindrance, an alternate reality between heaven and hell. Jake unknowingly opened the gates of hell and unleashed demons on Earth. Witching, Chan's father and a powerful necromancer, was the one who manipulated Mech and is now trying to return to the physical world. Because Jake opened the gate, only he can close it. He was born this way, under a blood moon, his mother dying in the process. Jake barely processes any of it. He only wants his family. Chan tells him that closing the gate means saving them along with everyone else. They must move quickly. The demon grows stronger with every soul it consumes. As they search for Mech, Chan explains the history of witching, once a greedy monk who stole his master's scriptures, corrupting his soul and destroying his human body. In desperation, witching attempted to possess his own son, but Chan's mother interrupted the ritual. Witching's soul was exiled from the physical world, though the failed possession left Chan with deep knowledge of soul energy and reality travel. Their search is interrupted when Jake spots a woman on a rooftop surrounded by demons. Chan says there is no time, but Jake goes anyway. He grabs a crowbar and fights through multiple demons to reach her. She is a woman from the mall who died not knowing it, still processing her guilt over cheating on her boyfriend. The enormous demon appears and devours her despite Jake's efforts. He reunites with Chan and realizes the truth. The explosion was fatal. He is dead. Chan confirms it. Jake chose his job over his family one too many times, making him a lost soul. But there is still a way back. He can return to Earth by possessing a body. They cut through the city toward the gate, pursued by winged demons. Chan fights them off with his staff and martial arts skills, and the two slip through a portal inside a theater, emerging in the physical world. Jake looks in a mirror and finds he is now inhabiting Arid's dead body. Chan equips him with an ancient gun that fires special bullets and a blade, the only weapons capable of killing Mech. But Mech has already used Jake's body to enter the hotel room and reunite with Prang and Lu. He does not know how to act like a father and keeps staring at his own reflection. When the hotel phone rings, Mech answers it and takes notes. By the time Jake and Chan arrive at the room, Mech has taken the family to the ritual site, an abandoned house in the forest where a huge fire marks the gate of hell. There, a gathering of possessed cultists awaits, along with the masked, hooded stranger revealed at last to be Witching himself. Jake and Chan slip through the shadows until Chan opens a portal to the physical world. Witching begins lifting Lu above the gate, preparing to sacrifice her to complete his ascension. Jake charges in. He tears through the cultists one by one with a special knife, and Mech joins the fight, trying to shoot Jake with the ancient gun. After exchanging blows, the gun is knocked loose. Prang, who has broken free from the man restraining her, recovers the weapon and shoots Witching's hand to stop him from stabbing Lu. She is tackled by a cultist. Jake throws his knife to cut the man down. Mech slashes Jake repeatedly with his own blade until Prang slides the gun across to her husband. Jake fires. Mech's soul is sent immediately to the hindrance, where the enormous demon consumes him. Chan then steps forward to confront Witching, holding his attention long enough for Jake to drive the knife into him from behind. As Witching dies, he reveals the only way to close the gate is for Jake to cross through it himself. Chan admits he had hoped to find another way. There is none. Jake says goodbye to his family, apologizing for every time he chose work over them. He shares a final embrace with Prang and Lu, then walks into the fire. On the other side, his body burns against the gate, sealing it shut. The world returns to normal. Prang takes Lu to her grandmother's house. Sometime later, a mysterious woman approaches the gate and places her hand against it, as though something is not yet finished.